Joined by Lake Lewis Jr., Redskins insider for SportsJourney.com. All eyes on Dwayne Haskins during the mandatory minicamp. What were your takeaways from him? I understand it's early. We're in early June at this point. He's in shorts and a T-shirt, but what did you see from him? And it's encouraging that he was the last guy on the field at the end of the OTAs getting some extra work in.
Yeah, he was. He was out there late. I think that goes to show that, he's a kid that knows that he needs to get better. He's also a kid that has a great work ethic, and that's what you want in a potential franchise quarterback. But right now, he looks like a rookie. I mean, he makes some really good throws where you can see why there's excitement. He's got a great arm, but he's erratic right now. That's probably the best word I can use. I mean, there's balls that are sailing over people. There's balls that are short, skipping in the ground. But then there's balls that are all over the receiver, and the receiver has no choice but to catch it because of that arm strength. I would say clearly right now, Case Keenum's the better quarterback. I mean, you can see it. He's a pro. It's just not hiding itself. I mean, Case Keenum's made better throws, better decisions. There was a stretch yesterday where Haskins threw two straight back-to-back interceptions right in front of us. So all of us in the media, well, the normal media who's there, we were together in the back of the end zone where it happened. That Jimmy Moreland, who's quickly becoming one of my favorites, stepped in on another one. It would have been a pick six if it was a live game. And then on the very next play, Josh Norman picks one off as well. And those both were off of Haskins. And they were gamble throws, and he paid for it. So I don't see Case making that throw yet, but that's because Haskins just has that belief that his arm can do things. So it'll be more if he plays this year, where you're going to see everything that will make people excited. But then there are going to be times, guys, where you're going to be like, "Wow, that was a rookie throw."
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just too hard of a position to play for a rookie who played 1 year of college football. And as you mentioned, Case Keenum's been in the league a few years and started a bunch of games. So if you had to put money on it in week one, is Keenum starting?
You guys put me on the spot. I mean,
of course. That's what we do here.
I mean, I had predicted 3 weeks ago that I thought Haskins was starting week one.
Okay.
Because I felt like
that was before you saw him in multiple practices.
Yeah, and I'll say this though, I still feel like there is a chance. I'm not just trying to save my prediction. I really feel like if he has a moderate to good training camp, it may be pressure to have him on the field. Now, I mean, you guys know where I'm going with that. I hope it doesn't come down and it's not mandated from up top. I just hope it's because, heck, the guy looks pretty decent. He doesn't look like he's setting the world on fire, but he looks like maybe he can give them a chance to do some things that maybe Case can't. But at this point, guys, to answer your question, I'd be shocked if Case doesn't start week one, especially with the defenses that they're going to be facing the first several weeks of the season.
Yeah.
And I really would be shocked if they threw Dwayne out there if it didn't look like he had total comfort. And in fairness to Dwayne, I will say this. You really can't have total comfort when you have no pocket because you don't have your best offensive lineman there, who we just talked about, and your second best, or maybe even best in some people's mind, Brandon Scherr, is he's back out there, he's participating, but he's not really participating in 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s right now.
Gotcha.
So they've got a nicked up line. Morgan is out there, but there's only so much he can do as he comes back from injury. He played through an injury all last year. That's just been what he does. And even Chase Roulier, there's limitations right now. So we haven't seen the Redskins' real line giving Case or Dwayne protection. And I got to tell you, the defensive front has just annihilated the offensive line on a daily basis, play after play after play.
Lake, is there reason to be optimistic about the wide receiver core? Now, I'm not crazy. I'm not disillusioned enough to think that they're going to be a top 10 type of unit. But Doxson, there should be every opportunity for him to catch 50-plus balls because of the departure of Jamison Crowder, Trey Quinn at the slot if he can stay healthy, the addition of 2 draft picks in McLaurin and Harmon, and Cam Sims I know has been showing some flashes, and I understand it's minicamp, but there is some talent to be worked in there to a group that sorely needs people to step forward.
Guys, I got to tell you, I really feel good about the wide receiving unit. I do. It's a young unit. Jay even said it yesterday after practice. He told us that, he feels like it's a great group because each person does something different. And that's like probably the best way to explain it. In years past, you knew what you had in Deshaun, the speed. You knew you had in Pierre, the toughness and things of that nature. But when you really sat back and looked at, that group, as great as those guys were, Pierre wasn't a Pro Bowler. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. It wasn't like this was a multiple Pro Bowler and Deshaun had gone, but it was like the Redskins never had, number one receiver that around the NFL, people looked at their team and said, oh, that's the guy. So what I'm saying is this year, they're still not going to have it. Unit, they could have 7 receivers that they carry, and all 6 or 7 are actually contributing. I mean, actually making catches, making plays. And I think that's going to be something that we haven't seen here in a long time. So I don't think Jay's offense is tailored, really, in my opinion, to actually have a true number one. Yeah, in Cincinnati, he had A.J. Green, but we're talking a Hall of Fame wide receiver right there. So I think with this group, I think Trey Quinn may naturally be the guy that could have a chance to lead them in actual catches. And I don't think that would be a knock on Josh. I just think it's the way the plays are called, the routes are ran, and who's the guy that's going to more than likely be open a lot. And it's probably going to be Trey.
Wow.
So I do feel like, and just to let you know, Ike Hilliard, that's a good friend. And, we had a little ongoing joke every year. It's, tell me who's the guy I need to look out for. Well, he's the guy that told me Mo Harris in the past. Last year he told me Cam Sims. This year I was looking for a younger guy, of course, and he said, no, it's Trey. And I said, well, I already know he can do something, but he's not going to make anyone forget about Jamison. And he told me, you can quote me on this, Lake. He said he absolutely will. He said, and he's dangerous. He's going to be able to do a lot for this team. So I think all eyes are going to fall on Trey this year.
Wow.
Lake, thanks as always for the updates. We appreciate it. It's Lake Lewis Jr., Redskins insider for SportsJourney.com. Give him a follow on Twitter at Lake Lewis. We'll talk to you again soon.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one now.
Yep, no problem.
Interesting.
You too.
Interesting. Said Trey Quinn will lead them in catches.
Yeah, it could be a sneaky points per reception, late pick wide receiver for you.
Essentially, he could be their Julian Edelman, their Wes Welker.
I guess.